Hi, welcome to Gluten-Free Meal Prep and Planning. This week, we're going a little bit more involved with our meal prep and recipes. I like to change it up so I don't get bored. So this week for breakfast, we're doing Hashbrown Cups. So I will show you how to make homemade breakfast sausage and incorporate that into the recipe. Then for snack, we're just going to do celery because it's nice and easy and super good for you. Lunch is going to be broccoli salad with creamy maple Dijon dressing, and that will be all homemade. Carrots for snack in the afternoon. Dinner is steak chimichurri with steamed spinach and potato. And then late night snack will be the dark red cherries and some protein powder mixed with almond milk into a slurry, and then that goes onto the dark red cherries, creates a shell, and is good for protein intake and for the natural magnesium that the cherries hold to help you make you nice and sleepy for bedtime. Today we're going to make Hashbrown Cups. And we're going to start first with the gluten-free breakfast sausage. Okay, so for the breakfast sausage, I am going to do a double batch. So we need 2 pounds of raw lean ground turkey. I do 93%. Then 4 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. Now, not all maple syrup is gluten-free. So you want to get like the all natural. You can check the bottle, make sure it's just pure maple syrup. There are certified gluten-free. I actually use the log cabin kind and have never had any problems with it. So check your maple syrup. And then 2 teaspoons of sea salt. I use pink Himalayan sea salt. And then 2 teaspoons of finely chopped fresh sage. I'm sure you can use like the dried spices. 2 teaspoons of finely chopped fresh rosemary. Half a teaspoon of black pepper. And then half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. 4 teaspoons of ice cold water and 2 teaspoons of olive oil. The olive oil is for the pan. So I have the ground turkey here and our spices and our maple syrup. I am wearing gloves because I do not want to get all of this under my fingernails, and you just mix it up. Now you don't want to over mix because then that'll make the meat tougher. And again, you could always form these into patties and use them on a homemade breakfast sandwich, or you could do it like we're doing today and making it into crumbles. All right, now that that's all mixed, we will heat up our oil and cook it up. All right, now we're just throwing this into our pan with oil. It would be the same process if they were patties and you were cooking them immediately. You just form them into patties, and then you could throw them on, you know, a griddle, Blackstone, or frying pan. So we will get this all cooked up and use it for our next recipe. This would be good in omelets. And again, patties on a breakfast sandwich. And it's pretty simple. Not all breakfast sausages that you get at the store or restaurants are gluten-free. They use thickeners and stuff like that. So this really is a simple way to make a healthier breakfast sausage, and they actually taste amazing. All right, sausage is complete. Now to move on to my final put together of the hash brown cups. Now that we're done making our breakfast sausage, I'm doing a double batch of the hash brown cups. So I am going to take 4 large egg whites and add them to a mixing bowl and whisk until they are slightly frothy. Now that they are slightly frothy, we are going to add our hash browns, ghee, salt, and pepper, and toss to combine. We are going to do 6 cups of frozen shredded hash browns, 4 tablespoons of ghee, 1 teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt, at least that's what I use, and 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Just check your hash brown bag or make your own and make sure that there's no wheat containing ingredients. It's crazy the amount of additives that companies put into hash browns, french fries, stuff like that. Things that should really just be potatoes. Like McDonald's french fries have like 16 ingredients. It's crazy. All right. We have our hash browns in there. And now we are going to add our ghee. Our salt and pepper. And it says to toss to combine. Just gonna mix it together because, you know, these are frozen hash browns and you're trying to incorporate the ghee into it. Tossing it isn't really gonna do the trick. So we wanna make sure that it's evenly distributed so you don't get, you know, a couple like real soggy hash brown cups. Don't wanna do that. We want them nice and crispy. And while you're doing that, you can preheat your oven to 475 and grease your muffin tins. I like to use silicone because it makes it so much easier to just pop whatever you're cooking right out of it. Okay, now we're going to divide the mixture up into your muffin cups. And then I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, because then what you need to do is press them into the bottom of the tin and up the sides. That way it kind of forms a little cup. It's not going to be perfect, because then while these are cooking, we are going to make the egg and sausage mixture that we will be topping the hash brown cups with. So they should look a little something like this. Now that they're done, time to pop those in the oven. We are going to bake them at 475 for 18 to 20 minutes. So now we got 12 large eggs that we're scrambling up, and we'll use the same pan that we did the breakfast sausage in. And scramble those up. Once they're scrambled, we're going to add the sausage to combine. And then when the hash browns are finished baking, we'll top the cups with the sausage and egg mixture. and some shredded cheddar cheese and pop it back into the oven for approximately 5 minutes or until the cheese is melted. Okay, the eggs are just scrambled, and I so badly need new pots and pans. These ones I got when I bought my house back in 2006, so 20 years ago. They lasted pretty good. So I'm putting the just scrambled. I do it till they're just scrambled, so then they don't like get too rubbery overcooked when I reheat them throughout the week. So we're going to mix this up with our sausage. And then as soon as those hash browns are cooked, we're going to pull them out and we're going to top them with this and the cheese. Okay, now that our hash brown eggs are done with the first part of the cooking process, they're going to look like this. And we are going to top it with the sausage and egg mixture and cheese. So I got it all in there and pressed it down a little bit, and we're going to put the cheese on it. I measured out 3 cups of cheese. I don't see how we're going to use that much, but we shall see. Because I'm really packing these. Serving size is 2 cups, 2 hash brown cups each. Right, they are all ready to go back into the oven until the cheese is melted, probably like 5-8 minutes. And I did use all 3 cups of the cheese. I thought maybe my recipe was a little off, but apparently not. Okay, we just pulled them out of the oven and they look absolutely amazing. We will let them cool a little bit so then we can just pop them out and put them into our Pirates container. Now that our hash brown cups are cooled, we can just pop them right out, and that's what they look like. So good. And then we'll just put them in the Pyrex container as an easy grab and go in the morning. You can reheat them, or you could just eat them cold. I don't know. I got so used to being on the go that I tend to forget to reheat things. But these are super family friendly, kid friendly. And if you want to reheat them in the microwave, 30 seconds will pretty much do it. So you could have a nice hearty breakfast ready for you in 30 seconds because you did all the work over the weekend. Or you could always eat them as soon as they come out of the oven too. Enjoy. Today we're going to make broccoli salad with creamy maple Dijon dressing. So you need, for about 1 cup each of 4 servings, 3 cups of broccoli florets cut up, which we have here, and then 8 slices of bacon. I don't like turkey bacon. Like, I've tried, and prepping it near the end of the week, it starts to turn a funky color. So that just is a no-go for me. So I made regular bacon. Made regular bacon, and then 4 servings of creamy maple Dijon dressing, half a cup of red onion, half a cup of sliced celery, and unsalted almonds chopped. I don't really want to take the time to chop the almonds, so I just got some slivered almonds that I'll put on it. And then 4 pitted dates chopped. I bought the already pitted dates. The only ingredient in it is dates, so they're not added sugar or anything like that. So we'll mix this all together. About a half a cup there. Then 8 slices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm not going to chop it, I'm just going to crumble it up. And I'm just going to eyeball this. And then we need 4 of the dates. And my cat just went into the cupboard and stole the bag of marshmallows and was walking around with it in its mouth. Hold, please. All right. So now we have our chopped up dates. Put that in. I'm going to just mix it around. I'm going to break these onions. And then I'm going to get my Pyrex containers and separate this all into the containers. I'm not going to put the dressing in it because I don't want it to get soggy by the end of the week. So I will add the dressing to like Monday through Wednesday. And then on like Tuesday, Wednesday for the Thursday, Friday servings, I will put the dressing on. That way it just holds a little longer. So 1 cup per serving goes in. I did cut a little extra broccoli just because I had it. So I could always have what's left over for lunch today. Pack those nice and full. It's Creamy Maple Dijon Dressing. And we are going to, I don't have a blender and we're supposed to add oil slowly, so it's going to be a little bit of a process. It is a 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of cold water, 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of pure maple syrup. Check your maple syrup, make sure that it is 100% pure maple syrup because some syrups do contain gluten for thickening agents. And then 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1/2 teaspoon of hot pepper sauce, so like a Tabasco or a hot sauce of your choice, whatever you have on hand will work. 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. I use the pink Himalayan sea salt. 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper, and a 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So you will take all the water, vinegar, maple syrup, mustard, hot pepper sauce, onion powder, salt, pepper, and xanthan gum to a blender. Cover and blend until smooth. And then you will start slowly adding in the olive oil. Xanthan gum, you need to make sure that you get a gluten-free kind. I use this. And it's just a 1/4 teaspoon in it. So we have all this in here and we'll get it on the blender. So I blended all the ingredients except the olive oil until it was smooth. So we will start to add the oil. All right, I added the 2 tablespoons first. And then we'll blend that up and then slowly start to add the 1/4 cup. Okay, dressing is done blending. And it's a thick and creamy dressing. The serving size is 2 tablespoons. This is about 9 servings. and it can be stored into the refrigerator for up to 4 days. So if you were doing it for like a dinner, or, you know, picnic lunch and having like the full salad in there, you would do 4 servings of the dressing. Each serving is 2 tablespoons. But since I'm not putting it on all of mine, I will just add what I need now. So I'll do 2 tablespoons per thing. And again, I did cut a little extra broccoli because I needed 5 days. The recipe's basically for 4 days. So I just stretched it a little bit. So I'll do the first 3 days, then we'll do the rest on Thursday, Fridays later in the week. And there you have it. You have your broccoli salad with creamy maple Dijon dressing. Since recipes are a little bit more involved this week, I decided to keep it super simple for my snacks. Just doing carrots and celery. I have them individually bagged, so it's easy for me to grab in the morning and keep me on track at work. My serving for baby carrots is 10, and then 1 cup of celery. So I'll do one of the things in the morning and one of the things in the afternoon. That just holds you over in between meal times. Today we're going to make steak chimichurri. So it's flank steak and a chimichurri sauce. For the chimichurri sauce, which I made up already, looks like this. You drizzle it over the top. It is going to be 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons of sherry vinegar, 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh parsley, 2 tablespoons of fresh cilantro chopped, 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh oregano. Store didn't have any, so I just used, you know, the regular dry stuff from the spice aisle. 1 clove of garlic, finely chopped. 1 teaspoon of coconut sugar. 1 teaspoon of finely chopped Fresno pepper, which is similar to like a chili pepper. 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt and 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper, and you just mix them all up in there and you got your delicious sauce. So for the flank steak, I'm doing a double recipe, but the recipe to serve 4 is just 1 pound of flank steak, and you're going to coat it with ghee and start preheating your pan. So we're going to get this nice and coated with the ghee. And yes, the dishes from prepping are adding up. And then I'm just going to take the pink Himalayan sea salt and some black pepper and season it up. When the pan gets really hot, you want to stick the steak on it. Look at that big piece of steak. And cook it for 3 to 4 minutes. Flip it another 3 to 4 minutes. And then you're going to remove it from the heat, let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then cut it against the grain. And then you can drizzle your chimichurri sauce on it. So my cast iron skillet's nice and super hot. I had to cut this in half because it was way too big. We're going to let that cook for a few minutes on each side, and it'll be all done, and then we'll cut it up. And I probably won't put the chimichurri sauce on it right now because we're going to be heating it up throughout the week. But I'll show you what it all looks like at the end. Our steaks are done. So we are going to cut against the grain. You can see the grain goes this way, so we're going to cut the opposite direction. And as you can see, it is like rare-ish, but we don't want to cook it too fully because we will be heating this up throughout the week. So I would say cook to your desired doneness if you're eating it right away. But if you're going to heat it up throughout the week, I would undercook it. So then by the time you get done reheating it, it gets to your desired doneness that you like. But this doesn't really bother me. So I will just show you. Take a little bit of the chimichurri sauce and drizzle it on there. So good. I hope you enjoy it. I almost forgot. I'm also cooking down 4 bags of fresh baby spinach. And that's half of it right there. And I will be having that with the steak chimichurri this week.